Hey everyone, happy Friday. Welcome to today's masterclass. I'll give it a couple minutes for everyone to get joined and then we'll jump right in.
A little video. Sorry, always Instagramming. I'm gonna take a little pic.
I love it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Here, live on our masterclass. You look so cute.
Welcome everybody. Gonna give it a couple more seconds just so that everyone can get in, get settled, and then we'll jump right in. All right, so I guess we can kick it off. So welcome everybody, happy Friday. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are super excited. This is kind of a unique class. We have 3 different founders from 3 different brands today, really focused on clean, conscious beauty. So we're super excited to be joined by them today. Before we get started, I just wanna run through a little bit of Zoom 101. So first and foremost, we're gonna have a Q&A at the end. So we encourage all of you to post all of your questions in the chat. We'll get to them throughout the class and then again at the Q&A at the end. In addition, I'll be linking each of the brand pages in the Zoom chat so you can go ahead and, scope out all of the full scope of products on your own after the class and throughout. I will also be linking all of the products that are discussed in the class again, so you can sort of build your basket on your own. Another thing that I wanted to mention, we encourage everyone to adjust your settings to speaker mode so that you can really get the full scope for each presenter. And last but not least, we are super excited to announce that we have a GWP offer today. So with any brand purchase of Mara Beauty, Alpyn, or Bloomeffects, you will receive 3 GWPs. So typically we only offer 1, but today, because this is a special class, you will get 3 different GWPs.
Hey.
There is no code needed. So with that brand purchase, you automatically qualify. So again, I'll be linking that info in the chat. So definitely take advantage of that. Okay, so I will go ahead and introduce our guests. We are joined by 3 lovely women today from pretty much all over Jackson Hole, Los Angeles, and the Netherlands. So as I mentioned, 3 amazing guests. So we have Allison McNamara, the founder of Mara, joining us from Los Angeles. Kendra Kolb Butler, founder of Alpyn Beauty, joining us from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And Kim Van Haaster, co-founder and CEO of Bloomeffects, currently based in the Netherlands. And today they're going to be showcasing a simple morning routine incorporating best-selling products from each of their brands. So with that said, I will hand it over to them.
Hi guys, I'm going to start. My name is Kendra Kolb Butler. I am, like we just talked about, from the mountains of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I would love to show you the mountain views, but I'm under 10 feet of snow still, and it's still coming down, but that's okay. Spring is on the way. I am the founder of Alpyn Beauty. I'm just going to set my timer here so I don't blab too much and I give everybody else a good time to enough time to speak. Okay, so Alpyn Beauty was founded in 2018. We're a Bluemercury conscious beauty brand. My background is I used to live in Manhattan and I was in the beauty industry for 20 years. Around 2015, I decided I just needed a break from the city and the toxins and the stress, and I packed up everything, including my husband and my baby. They got to come too, and I moved to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. I just wanted to experience some fresh air, be out in nature, and just press the reset button on life. So when I moved to Jackson Hole, working in the beauty industry, I brought all my products with me, and I quickly realized that living in elevation can be very stressful on the skin. It is very dry where I live. We're at 6,200 feet above sea level. So I'm like miles above Allison right now. But it's just, it can really take a toll on your skin. And I opened some beauty stores and my clients were having the same problem. Nothing was working for them. And I tried to figure out solutions. I couldn't find anything. So one day I was sitting in my backyard that looks like this. This is a marketing poster, but I'll show you. This is what the mountains look like. And my backyard is like just right about here. And I was looking at the wild plants and I couldn't believe how beautiful these wild plants were and that they were flourishing and juicy and plump and so hydrated in an environment where everybody's skin was like falling off of their face. And I started to investigate a little bit more, and I found that in my backyard, growing wild, were ingredients like borage and chamomile and calendula, and all of these ingredients that I had known about in the skincare industry. So I started wild crafting, and that is what we do at Alpyn Beauty. That means that we manufacture our own ingredients. I hand harvest them from my backyard. When you wild craft, it means that you're letting the plants grow wild. We don't grow them, we don't touch them, we don't order them from a supplier. We just let them struggle because it's that struggle and that challenging life cycle that we believe brings really good benefits to the skin. So it's completely sustainable. This is another prop. I'm just going to show you guys. When you wildcraft, you just take a little tiny piece of the plant. So you're just taking a tiny piece of either the leaves or the branch or the stem, wherever the nutrients are, and then you move on. You never rip the plant out of the ground. So I became fascinated with this because we would wildcraft these ingredients and I would go to the patch of plants 1 week later and they would look exactly the same. So we do it very sustainably with great respect for the plants. So that's a little background on the brand. That is how Alpyn Beauty started. We love plants, we love animals, vegan, cruelty-free. What I'm going to talk about today is the first step in our regimen. Then I'm going to turn it over to my friends who are much more interesting than I am. But here we go. So this is the Wild Huckleberry 8-acid polishing peel.
So we're going to follow along, Kendra, right?
Yeah. So Allison and Kimmy are going to follow along. They're going to be my like beautiful, gorgeous models. And we're going to show you how to apply this. And I'm going to talk to you about what this peel is. This peel is all about double exfoliation. And I'm going to tell you why 2 forms of exfoliation are important. We've all done the double cleanse thing, but when you're able to double exfoliate, even if you do it 3 times a week, you can do it once a day, but even 2 to 3 times a week, you're going to see a reduction in pores. You're going to see smoother, softer, brighter skin, and you're going to see a noticeable difference in the way your other products that we're going to talk about today, serum and moisturizers, work on your skin. So that's why we're starting with this double exfoliation. So I'm going to do a demo and here we go. I'm going to put my hair back with this very cool kitsch headband.
I came prepared.
You guys are ready. So I am going to stick my fingers in this jar. Do not be horrified. It's only my jar. We usually use applicators if we're in a store setting, but here we go. It's like a fluffy marshmallowy paste. And you only need a little bit. I use about this much to do my entire face. So clean, dry skin. You can do this peel in the morning or in the night. It doesn't matter. It's just important to do it. Okay, so I'm going to apply it to my face like a mask. Here it goes.
I'm a texture junkie. This is so nice, by the way. I'm obsessed with this. Like, I absolutely love this texture. It's
kind
my
of like
favorite.
It looks like something I could eat. It's so nice.
We posted it on Instagram and one of our followers was like, I thought this was icing. Like, she was like, my fat butt wants to eat this. Like, her comment made me die. It was so funny. But yes, it kind of looks like marshmallowy and it goes on just like a bouncy berry seed paste. All right, so we're going to put this on. This is really all you need to do your whole face. Now I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what's happening. In this peel, there are 8 natural acids. So it's going to sit on your skin for just 5 minutes. That's all it takes. 5 minutes a day. 8 natural acids. You have the whole gang, okay? All the girls are here. Tartaric, azelaic, glycolic, salicylic, malic, lactic, all of them. If I got them all, I can't remember because I'm in the middle of talking, but there's 8. Okay, natural gentle acids. They right now on Allison and Kim's skin and mine, they are eating away at that dull, dry skin, that sebum, the oil, everything that's sitting on the surface. they are really going to town right now. So you're going to let it sit for 5 minutes, let those 8 natural acids do their work, and then you're going to remove. And the magic is in the removal. So we just got our gentle chemical exfoliation with the acids. This is where the magic happens. Usually you would wait 5 minutes, but I'm just going to keep moving so we can move this session along. This is your double exfoliation. You wet your fingertips, and it's easier to do when you're over your sink. You wet your fingertips, and now you're going to start to massage. Here comes your gentle, gentle physical exfoliation. You're going to just start to move this around. And what you're feeling right now is wild huckleberries that we sustainably harvest. Here they are. They come from my backyard in Jackson Hole. It's a huckleberry seed paste and a very gentle bamboo powder. So here's that second form of exfoliation that's kicking in. And you really want to just move it around, let those finely milled berry seeds and that gentle bamboo powder that's not abrasive to the skin. Now they're going to clear all of that dead skin that the acids detached. So there you have chemical exfoliation with the acids, and then physical mechanical exfoliation with that berry seed and bamboo powder.
But it's so gentle, Kendra. I have sensitive skin and I am not feeling any tingling or like, it's just so gentle.
It's paradoxical.
And I will say, I'm always scared of physical exfoliants, honestly. Like I get nervous by it, and these are just so soft. You don't feel like it's hurting the skin barrier or pulling or tugging. It's just like the most gentle little cloud.
Well, thank you for saying that. And that's why we did it this way. The 8 acids are going to detach everything. So when you come in with that berry seed and bamboo powder, it is very gentle. You don't need a lot because your skin's already been detached. That's why that double exfoliation is key. And honestly, right now, we're all kind of struggling because we don't really have the opportunity to go and get facials. We can't get pore extractions. We can't, go to the spa and work on our skin. So we're looking for those at-home treatments that work on maskne, that can just clear off everything, kind of like a professional would do on a spa. So now I'm removing the peel. Here we go. So it's an easy removal. When you're over the sink, you can just wash it with your hands and rinse clean. I'm using these because I'm kind of like in a studio right now and I have no sink, but it's very, very easy to remove. And then when you're finished, your skin is primed and prepped and ready for anything else that you're going to use in your routine. So your serums can go on, your moisturizers, your sunscreen, anything else can go right on top. But
My skin feels so soft now, Kendra.
So
that's what we were going for with this. I have 2 babies and I look at my 3-year-old skin and it's just like plump and soft, and baby soft skin, it really is a thing. And when we come out, in our infancy, everyone has all this collagen and we're so plumped. And as we age, that starts to go downhill a bit, unfortunately. So this is a way to bring it back. You have anti-aging ingredients in here that are going to plump the collagen. Something cool is when your collagen is plumped, your pores get smaller. So think of a straw opening, like a straw that you would drink out of. That is a pore. When you use anti-aging ingredients and you plump that collagen that surrounds those pores, that pore gets squeezed shut. So big pores go small. Pores are really an anti-aging issue. And we don't need abrasive, chemicals, or we don't need anything that's irritating. Like we can change our skin using clean, conscious ingredients that come from nature. And, I think that's what our 3 brands are all about, is that like clean doesn't mean wimpy. You can get beautiful results and gorgeous skin by using things that are good for you and good for the environment. As I wrap up here, we're going to open it to questions at the end. So I'm going to let the other girls go through their beautiful products and brands. But I do want to just mention that part of our Conscious Beauty initiative at Alpyn is that we give back 1% of every sale to our local park restorations. And since we've been in business, we've been able to restore 423 acres of national parks that have been damaged by people walking on them or doing, not great things. So we've been able to restore the national parks. That's kind of our thing. And then we're also plastic neutral through an organization called Repurpose, which means that we pay for ocean cleanup of plastics that are illegally dumped in the ocean. So conscious beauty is very important to us. I'm so happy to have been able to talk to you guys today. Thank you so much for your time. And I'm going to turn it over to my friend, Allison, who's going to walk us through her beautiful brand, Mara.
Thank you so much, Kendra. By the way, I know I've said this a few times, but I'm obsessed with the huckleberry peel. It's like one of my favorite steps. I look forward to it each week when I use it. So thank you for taking us through that demo. Hi, guys. I am Allison McNamara, the founder of Mara, which is a clean, non-toxic algae skincare line. And today we're actually at my family home in Palos Verdes. And the reason why I wanted to do it here is because I'm going to step aside for a second. This quite literally inspired the entire story and color palette of the brand. I grew up here. I mean, I think it's personally one of the most beautiful places in California. It's kind of the most southern point of Los Angeles, and you get this gorgeous view of like all of SoCal. So this is like Redondo, Hermosa, LA. We can actually see the Hollywood sign on a clear day. So we're right in the heart of everything. If you hear any birds or dogs, I have but I'm so excited to tell you guys about Mara. So before I launched the brand, I was actually a television host and journalist for Pop Sugar and Refinery 29. I had my own show on Entertainment Tonight online, and then also one on FYI Network. And I love telling other people's stories. I love interviewing people. That's like one of my biggest passions. But I was at a crossroads in my career, and a lot of the shows I was on kept getting canceled. And a lot of the places that I was writing for, my dog, of course, starts playing with a toy right as we're live. Yeah, so my dad just took it away. So, I was at a crossroads in my career, and, a lot of the shows I was on were getting canceled, and beauty's always been at the center of everything that I do. I grew up in a skincare household. So with my family working in beauty, and I spent weekends on commercial sets, and talking about ingredients was always at the forefront of the conversation. So in 2015, I had the idea for Mara, which I'm going to explain the name for a second. She's crazy. It means, okay, so Mara is from the Sea of Marmara in Istanbul, Turkey. I actually thought of it when we were on a trip to Turkey. And so I was thinking, oh my gosh, Mara, that's the last 4 letters of my last name. It also means sea in Gaelic, and I'm a dual citizen of both the US and Ireland. So it had this really beautiful story that started to develop. And I'd always been obsessed with algae products, but I found that a lot of the products at the time when we were formulating, when you look at the list, yes, there'd be algae in there, but there also would be like silicones or, parabens or these, ingredients that I'd never even heard of, and petrochemicals. And as I started Googling, I'm like, okay, I want this luxe algae experience. I know algae is amazing for my skin, but how can I do it in a really clean way? And at the time, clean beauty was just starting to come around. So I didn't really know that I'd be a part of this wave. I'm sure Kendra and Kim can kind of gonna go along with that. Like, we didn't really know that clean would be where it is now. At least I didn't. So started on this journey, and I launched with one hero product, the Mara Universal Face Oil, which is still our best seller. But today I want to tell you guys about our C serum. So after we've exfoliated, my favorite part of the morning is putting on my vitamin C serum, which is right here. Hopefully you guys can see it. So all of our products are housed in these gorgeous blue glass bottles, which you can recycle with us through our Mara recycling program. I'll get into that a little bit later. But the C serum is your super potent vitamin C serum. So you'll notice it has a very slippery, viscous. And before I get into the ingredients, I want to tell you what the idea was for this product. Vitamin C is one of my favorite actives in addition to retinol, but I found that most of the vitamin Cs I was using, they either smelled really funny, like they had a funky smell, which I didn't love. Like, it's the first thing you put on your skin in the morning. It should at least feel like neutral or glamorous. Ours has barely any scent. Sometimes people say it smells like a light thyme. You can see it on Kendra's hand right now. It's very slippery and glowy. So that was important, the scent. That was the first thing I told my formulators. I was like, it absolutely cannot smell like shit, pardon my language. The second thing, yeah, like it can't smell like shit. So how do we figure that out? The next thing that I really wanted to hit with this product was I wanted it to feel slippery and glowy. I wanted it to be like that we're all about see the glow. I wanted it to have that gorgeous glowy finish. And it felt like a lot of vitamin C's, they had like a primer-like effect, which is really great for a makeup wearer, but I don't wear a lot of makeup. So I wanted something that really felt like second skin, and it also was easy to layer with. So you'll notice it doesn't have like a sticky dry down, and it also doesn't have like a primer-like finish. So those were like the two really important parts. But the third, which kind of goes into the ingredients, was that I wanted it to be just as effective from the second you opened it to the last drop. And unfortunately with vitamin C, it's a very volatile ingredient, especially ones that are used like L-ascorbic acid. So we ended up going with THD ascorbate, which is the most stable form of vitamin C in an ester form. And this is great because it doesn't break down with oxygen or sunlight because it's oil soluble. So it's housed in this gorgeous base of all these really rich oils, which I'll get into next. But THD ascorbate is incredible. So 15% of this, you're getting a hefty dose of vitamin C, along with 14 vitamin C rich fruits, herbs, and marine botanicals. So we spent a lot of time researching the different vitamin C ingredients to add in here. I won't name all of them, one, because my memory is not as great as it used to be, but my favorites are the Kakadu plum, which is one of the most vitamin C rich fruits on earth. We have blue sea kale, which is the sister to the kale that you know and love. It's the blue sea kale that kind of grows on the marshy sides, right where the ocean and the cliffs meet. We also have thyme and parsley, which a lot of people say they can smell little hints of thyme. I just love herbs for vitamin C. A lot of people don't realize that that's a really vitamin C rich ingredient. Billy, you got to stop. Come here. I'm going to take this toy away from her. She's absolutely insane. Like literally has not played with toys all morning, and then right as we're on.
Vitamin C is getting her excited. She likes it too.
She's getting like so hyped about the vitamin C. Okay, so in addition to those, we also have some really great citruses. So we've got strawberry, grapefruit, papaya, passion fruit. And so when we go to the demo, I'm actually going to go like a half dropper full is nice, about this much. And I like to put it like on my hand, but some people put it directly to the skin, honestly. Some people like to put it like drop it on the skin. I like to just pat it in like this. So in addition to those vitamin C elements, so we've got the 15% THD ascorbate, the 14 vitamin C rich fruits, herbs, and marine botanicals. We also have our adaptogens, which at the time when we were formulating weren't as trendy as they are now. Also, don't forget the neck, you guys. The neck and the décolletage and the back of the hands. Hot tip. The adaptogens are really important because vitamin C can make your skin sensitive. I have very sensitive skin, which is why I'm really careful with certain types of things like the physical exfoliants and certain exfoliants in general. But vitamin C is also one of those things that I've had irritation with in the past. So the adaptogens really help to kind of balance out any sensitivity that you would get with that traditional vitamin C. So we've got reishi, chlorella, and ginseng. Chlorella also happens to be a fantastic algae. I just love that ingredient so much. And together they really work to reduce any redness or inflammation. So it's kind of like a double. Mara formulas are all about balance. It's like, well, we're going to hit you with an active. We're also going to really balance out with really soft skin ingredients. I know we're not done with the ingredients, by the way. So in addition to the adaptogens and the vitamin C, we also have these really gorgeous marine botanicals. This is something that we're actually playing with as we expand the line. The marine botanicals are kind of what I touched on earlier. Blue sea kale is one of them, same with sea lavender. And they're these really resistant plants, kind of like what Kendra was talking about. They're given like really harsh conditions. They're not at a high climate, but they're being pummeled with salt and seawater and like really intense harsh lighting, and they've lived for thousands and thousands of years. So we found these have really wonderful skin strengthening properties that really help hydrate the skin and also plump up that skin barrier, which is so important when you're using a really intense active. So I love these ingredients. We actually have them coming up in more of our products. And then our signature algae is at the core of everything we do. So I didn't touch on this at the beginning, but each MAR product has our proprietary algae blend. We spent 2 years clinically testing this and developing it. It's really just so wonderful for plumping, firming, and smoothing the skin. I like to say that the ocean is literally our living fountain of youth. It's the sea. It's been around for billions of years. I'm not sure if you guys have watched Seaspiracy yet, by the way. It's a new documentary on Netflix, but if you haven't watched it, you should. And it really kind of goes into like how long the ocean has been around for. It's really been one of the first, it was the first thing that life formed on Earth. So I think there's something really special about going to that first kind of life form and using it for our skin. And so we've just seen incredible benefits with algae, and it's just the core of the brand. So that's another part of the formula. And then the final part is our hydration. So we have moringa, squalane in here. Both of them are incredible ingredients. I love them both for just like that extra slip, that extra moisture. And they're really just beautiful to put on. So I know I already put a little bit on, but another tip, like I said, is to put it on the backs of your hands. And this is something I'm very passionate about hand care. I think it's because I was not blessed with beautiful looking hands. You know, life doesn't give us all the things, and hands were not the thing that I got. I've got short fingers, not piano hands, but I like to put a drop on the backs of my hands. And I find that like I had a lot of sunspots as we age. I think a lot of women can understand this. Like when we're driving, when we're driving, I noticed that my hands have really bad sunspots on the left side. Kind of see it right here. And so I like to just massage it in on the backs of the hands. So yeah, this is really nice. And then I also make sure to get the chest. I'm also not practicing good sun care right now because I'm actually in the sun, which I never do. So if I have a sunburn tomorrow, it was all in the name of this masterclass.
You did it for us. I want to comment on this. This is, so first of all, if you guys don't have vitamin C in your regimen, it's pound for pound, like the heavyweight antioxidant. It's been studied for years. Like everybody knows vitamin C is crucial. But what I love so much about this is the texture. Like it's so lightweight. I've put it on 5 times already and I don't feel weighed down. My skin just has this glow. It's like almost invisible once you put it onto your skin, and it just gives you this really great finish.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be really light. Like sometimes I used to use, like my old morning routine was like, you know, some sort of cleanser, either the Mara cleanser or something else that I'm using, and then, you know, a vitamin C and then a moisturizer. But I've actually been kind of using this as my one-stop shop sometimes and going straight to SPF. It really just depends on what I'm doing for the day. But it's nice to layer. It really is a really beautiful layering product. And like you said, I totally didn't touch on that earlier. Vitamin C is like one of the best antioxidants for your skin. I think if you're going to have a complete skincare routine, you need a vitamin C in the morning and some form of retinol in the evening, and then mix in an acid, and you've got like great, gorgeous glowing skin. Those are really like the 3 key things that you really need. So that is the gist on Mara and my C serum. And I'm so excited to hear from Kim because I'm obsessed.
Well, my skin is glowing. Thank you so much, Allison. And I have eczema and I'm really nervous about anything active. Just because I'm so sensitive. But I have to say, after the peel, Kendra, and then the glow, like look at this. I'm blown away. So I'm the new kid on the block. I'm the new kid on the block. My name's Kim Van Haaster. I am the CEO and co-founder of Bloomeffects. We are just 18 months old, and I'm Australian, Asian descent, lived in New York for about 10 years and followed that kind of corporate Sex in the City lifestyle that every Australian wants to do when they live in New York, you know, watching Gossip Girl and Sex in the City. But I had that Charlotte moment where I was like, oh my God, where is he already? I'm sick of my personal life. So I went on a big trip in Europe, as most Australians do, and I met a guy on the dance floor, as you do, and it was in Ibiza. Yes, we made out and exchanged numbers. And it turns out this guy is my husband now, and he's the father of my gorgeous little girl. And yeah, we were long distance pen pals, but then I packed up my studio apartment in Manhattan, quit my job and moved to the Netherlands. And I'm coming to you, you know, live in the Netherlands. We would be in the fields, but we're about a week off from tulip season. So these are from our greenhouse. And Hein is a 4th generation tulip farmer. His family's been growing tulips for 115 years, and they service the British royal family. They own their own varieties of tulips as well. So not only do they grow and export them around the world, they actually breed tulips, which takes about 15 years to actually breed a specific variety of tulip. And we actually christened one of the varieties Bloomeffects, and you can see that on our website. So the kind of light bulb or the tulip bulb moment for me, being a beauty veteran, I was in the fields, we'd hand cut some flowers and I was arranging them in a vase. And I was like, honey, I don't understand why I'm so bad arranging tulips, because the next day they just seem to have moved and like flopped over in a vase. Has anyone experienced that before? Like they just have a mind of their own and I can't get it right. And he's like, oh, that's because they continue to grow once they're cut. And I was like, what, like, can we rewind? What do you mean? And he's like, yeah, everyone knows that. They grow almost 2 to 3 inches. And I was like, why? And he's like, I'm not sure. I grow them, but I'm not sure. So if anyone knows anything about Dutch farming, they're actually really super sustainable in the way that they farm. Again, I'm going to quote Netflix just like Allison did, but if you've seen the latest David Attenborough documentary, he actually talks about how Dutch farmers are years ahead and how this tiny country is feeding the world because they're so great at being efficient, use less water than any farmers in the world. And this tiny little country is feeding the whole world in terms of food and agriculture. So it is really the flower shop of the world. And what we found was working with the Dutch government, we actually got 2 government grants in research to discover what was in a tulip. And what we discovered was that tulips actually have regenerative properties for the skin. So there's 2 hormones in a tulip, which is keratin and auxin, and they actually are responsible for this regeneration and growth. And keratin, I know that Allison mentioned a lot of greenery like kale and sea lavender. And, you know, Kendra was talking about the plants as well in terms of chamomile. All of those good green, leafy green plants actually have keratin in them, and that's what's beneficial to the skin. So as you can see, even though it is a flower, it's very leafy and greeny. So it's the keratin and the auxin mixed together that actually regenerates the skin. So we have a proprietary tulip complex, and it's in everything we do. We're the first ones to have it. We discovered the tulip, and it's really rich in antioxidants, natural moisturizing factors. And so I'm going to get into our tulip dewdrops. This was really inspired by me looking out at the fields and literally seeing the soft and supple petals capturing the morning dew. And I was like, that is just beautiful. I want my skin to feel like a petal. I want to look like dewdrops in the morning, the tulip fields. So we created tulip dewdrops, and it's essentially like a super juice or like a green juice for your skin in the morning. This is everything that you need in the morning. And you have moisturizers in here. You have a vitamin complex as well, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D, and vitamin E. So it's like a multivitamin and super easy. There's no tricks or hacks. You just apply liberally, like pump away, and then add to the dewy base that we already have from Mara. And like, is there such a thing as too much dew? I don't think so.
The smell is amazing. It's like so fresh. It's not overwhelming, but it just, it's familiar to me. It does smell like being outside and like you smell almost the fresh air and like a floral effect.
I'm taking you to the Netherlands, Kendra. Like this is like me frolicking in the fields. That's what you're smelling. We actually don't use any fragrance. Yeah. We're completely fragrance free. I know that a lot of people relate flowers to fragrance, and it's like a natural inherent connection. But fun fact, there's over 3,000 varieties of tulips, and in fact, only under 50 of them actually have a scent. But if you think about it, it makes sense because they don't really smell like anything. And fragrance for us is something that we do avoid. So we have fragrance-free products. I personally grew up with eczema. I was atopic asthma, hay fever, the lot. And it's very common with Southeast Asian babies who are born in Western societies and grow up on Western diets. So we just get all of these skin conditions. And so fragrance was always a no-no for me. So I've always been fragrance-free. And then I just want to talk about the complexes that we have in this. Not only is it really protective for the skin and dewy and glowy for the skin, but we have squalene, 5% squalene. We have a Chinese root blend in this, which is great for anti-aging, but also brightening and clarifying. Niacinamide, which I love because it's like the MVP of vitamins. If you're a fan of TikTok, you've seen all of the word on niacinamide. We also have Kakadu plum, and I want to call out it's Australian. So
yes,
we love
it's Australian.
And a prebiotic hydration complex. And the prebiotics is super important because prebiotics really let probiotics flourish in the skin. And it's so important to protect our skin barrier. I know that we're really focused on trying to stop the clock, but the most important thing in terms of skincare is just hydration and protection. Think of it like building blocks for the skin. You want to make sure the bricks and the mortar are there so you have a protective barrier, because especially as an eczema sufferer, when your barrier is compromised, it doesn't matter if you have wrinkles or lines or age spots or, you know, any of the signs of aging. It's a privilege to age. But if you have a compromised barrier, it's painful and it's sore and it's ouchy and itchy. And these are the things that we need to protect. And then once you have a natural balance, then we can up the ante and get those hard-hitting anti-aging benefits. But think of this as, yeah, that super juice or your multivitamin in the morning that you can add in with your foundation. You can wear it as a primer. You can wear it with your Alpyn Beauty and your Mara serum, or you could actually put it on top of your makeup as well as like a natural highlighter. And I want to call out the sustainability aspect to our brand as well. Not only are we obviously conscious beauty, but we are low plastic. We have 100% recycled cardboard. We use soy inks, and we're the first ones to upcycle tulip bulbs, which is great because it means that we're actually reducing the waste in the agricultural industry. We take the stem cells from the bulbs that my husband discards, and yes, they're waste in his industry, but we actually are reducing the carbon footprint from the agricultural industry, making it upcycled and creating something really beautiful to share with you all.
Can I just say how gorgeous your box is too? I know now, you guys, the world's not on my side today. The gardeners are now, there's a hotel right over here. They're now at that, so that's great. But your box is stunning. Like, I was just geeking out over it this morning. It's so beautiful. I feel like I'm with you in the Netherlands when I get this. It's just so pretty.
Yeah, so many comments in the chat about the packaging and how much they all love it.
And I know it's not an eye cream, but I love to dab it around my eyes because it's so gentle. Like, I feel like it's not irritating. And sometimes when I put things too close, I feel like irritation in that area, but it's super, super lightweight. And I love it like in this area too.
Really lightweight. And also it doesn't, like, I always have the problem that having too many occlusive products because of the eczema, I do tend to go for heavier products like our nectar, for example. I wear that as a day cream. It's too much for people usually, but the dewdrops is great around the eye, Kendra, to your point, because it doesn't mess with your eye makeup.
No, it's beautiful.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
And these three products work together. They work so well together. Like, this routine is just such a complete morning routine. I feel like I was playing with it before we did this just to make sure, and they really are awesome together.
I mean, look at that glow.
How compatible they all are. You can use them all together. It's amazing. And thank you guys. I know I speak on behalf of everyone, but you all have amazing stories, and I'm so inspired by all of your backgrounds and everything you've done so far. So I do have a bunch of questions that came through in the Q&A feature, so we can go ahead with that. Everyone, again, please direct all of your questions for the three guests in the chat and we'll get to them. But I will go ahead and get started. So Kendra, someone asked about the 8 acids in the wild huckleberry peel. Can you sort of speak to those again and just explain what they are, what the benefits are, and all of that?
Yes. I came from a brand that was very big into acids, a little company. I won't name the name of it, but I've been studying acids for over 10 years. I love acids. Never be scared by the word acids. People sometimes are very put off because they're going to think abrasive, red, irritating. Acids are actually one of the best things that you can put on your skin, especially if you're looking to boost that collagen, like kickstart that production and really just clear anything that your cleanser can't remove. So here are our 8. I'm going to rattle them off, but I also have them written down just in case I forget. You have azelaic, malic, citric, tartaric, ferulic, salicylic, lactic, and glycolic. No, wait, lactic and glycolic. So there are your 8. The salicylic acid in the wild huckleberry peel, we did something a little bit different. I wanted to test wild sal acid. So I actually put on my hiking boots. We climbed to 11,000 feet elevation and we scraped white willow bark trees. In white willow, like bakuchiol is nature's retinol, white willow is nature's sal acid. So then we took that scraped bark, we soaked it, and we put it into the wild huckleberry peel. And one of the chemists that I was working with was blown away. She's like, this is like the strongest form of sal that I've seen in a while. And it's because it came from the wild. So those are our 8, but don't be scared of acids. They are your friends. They are nice. They help our skin. They nourish us. And when they're formulated in the right way at the right concentrations, they can really just be so glow inducing. So
awesome. Vicky H asks, well, she said she's such a big fan of the product. What's coming next for the brand?
Oh, from me?
Yes.
Okay, so we have I can give you guys a little tiny sneak peek. I'm not really supposed to talk about it, but 2 words. One Kimmy mentioned earlier. I call you Kimmy because you're Kim, whatever you like.
I go by Kimmy.
On your Instagram. Yeah, that's
right. It's an Australian thing, you know, the Kimmy, look at me, Kimmy. Yeah, it's that.
You're so friendly and approachable. I feel like Kimmy fits. But niacinamide is something that we're playing with in our next launch that you guys are going to see in June. Wild stinging nettle that I wildcrafted from my backyard. Nettle is actually a plant that can sting you and cause a rash, but in the stem, it has its own medicine. It's very anti-inflammatory. And I thought this was so cool that as I was harvesting this ingredient, it was stinging my arms, but it contained its own ointment inside. So we put wild stinging nettle, niacinamide, and then we found a new active called rambutan that comes from a superfruit in Vietnam, sustainably harvested, but they're calling it the new bakuchiol. So you guys will see that coming out in June. That's all I can say, but Bluemercury.
Very exciting. We had a question come through. Is vitamin C something that can help with rosacea? Allison, I think you can kind of speak to this based on your products, but that's definitely something that we get a lot, you know, people struggling with rosacea and how to tackle that.
Definitely. I had to move inside, you guys. The gardeners were out of control. So here we are now. Yes. So vitamin C is fantastic for hyperpigmentation, dark spots, fine lines, wrinkles, skin texture. But it is because of the way that we formulated our product, people with rosacea, like myself, I have rosacea and psoriasis, can really benefit from it. So we try and really balance out those formulas with those really soothing ingredients that I mentioned, like the marine botanicals, the reishi, the chlorella, the ginseng, to really just have this synergistic effect on the skin. So yes, like in short, this product and our retinol are.
Oh, I think you went on mute.
Oh, that's it. I just wanted to silence it because the background.
It's live, everyone.
I'm so used to muting. You guys won't do that. Like I literally mute myself. Like once I'm done talking, I always mute myself. I feel like it's good Zoom practice, but yeah, that's the general gist. People with rosacea, yes, they can use vitamin C. It's fantastic, and you won't notice any additional like irritation.
Awesome. Kathy had a question in regards to, order of products. I know today we kind of had our systemized order, but do you use vitamin C before the dewdrops or vice versa? If you use the serum too, what is the order to use the products? And I know it's kind of, they say use the lighter products first and then build into the thicker products, but I'm sure you guys are the experts there in terms of, what that routine looks like.
Yeah, I could start on this one, or
sure.
You can start.
I was going to say, I totally agree, thinnest to thickest. And then in this situation, I would say that the reason why we all 3 agreed the Tula Dewdrops needed to be the last is because it is more of a hybrid serum moisturizer. So it is a medium weight serum or a lightweight moisturizer, and it does have priming benefits as well as soft focus luminosity. So you have some pigments in there that give you a soft focus, a luminosity. So because of that kind of hybrid makeup finish, you want to finish with this and then, have all your treatments. So if you had your hyaluronic acids or if you had like a hyaluronic acid serum and then your vitamin C serum, the Mara serum, and then finish off with the dewdrops as your finisher for a makeup optional look.
Yeah, I agree with everything Kim said. And to kind of piggyback off of that, your active, so anything that has like a vitamin C or it's a percentage of an active should go closest to the skin if you want the maximum benefit. So if you wanted to dilute the vitamin C, you could put on something like a dewdrops first and like your hydrator first and then put on a serum. But if you really want to get all of the benefits of an active, it wants to be closest to the skin. And again, like thinnest to thickest is always a good way to think about it. Usually the actives are a bit thinner. So.
I just want to add one thing. Sorry, I'm such an SPF junkie. I just want to talk about SPF. I know Allison mentioned it earlier. Like, please, please wear your SPF. My brand does not have one, so I'm not trying to sell you guys. I'm just saying as a friend and a confidant, like SPF is so crucial to apply daily. And something that a lot of my clients don't realize is that if you are going directly into the sun, if you're playing tennis, if you're going to the beach, if you're going to have that direct sun exposure, just wake up, wash your face, and put your SPF on only. Because if you're putting a serum and a moisturizer and an eye cream, you're diluting that SPF down by the number of products you put on before it. So if you're putting on 4 things and you have an SPF 40, your skin's only really getting a 10. You want to put that SPF directly on the skin for direct sun exposure. If you're just going into the grocery store, running errands, that kind of stuff, it's fine to layer serums and moisturizers and throw your SPF on. But please, if you're going into the beach or any place where your skin's going to be exposed, I live at 6,200 feet elevation. I use SPF like I need a bathtub of it. But so important to just apply as much as you can starting early, you know, because it's hard to, it's easier to prevent it than to try to bring it back.
Yeah, that's super interesting too. I think everyone thinks of SPF as just an addition to their skincare routine, but to know that you shouldn't be layering on other products is super helpful to know. I don't think everyone thinks about that.
It's the most important. And I'm Australian, and there's 1 in 3 cases of melanoma. You know, skin cancer is really a problem in Australia because there's a great big hole in the ozone layer. So yeah, I can definitely attest to the importance of SPF.
Agree.
Kim, another question for you. Can you explain again, where does the tulip complex come from?
Yes. So my husband, I know I call him a tulip farmer, but he's a lot more than that. He's actually a bulb grower. So they grow thousands of varieties of flowers. They're just known for tulips because they're Dutch. And part of the process of bulb growing is like when you go to your Home Depot or your DIY store and you buy a sack of bulbs to plant in your garden, they are harvested from the soil. But when you buy them from the grocery store or your DIY store, have you noticed that they all look uniform? And it's just because we've been conditioned to always buy really uniform vegetables, really uniform fruits, really uniform anything agriculture, but they come in all shapes and sizes. So anything that's irregular, too big, too small is discarded as waste. There's nothing wrong with the bulbs whatsoever. But what we do is we upcycle them, we extract the stem cells, and that is the backbone of our proprietary Dutch tulip complex. It's rich in natural moisturizing factors, antioxidants, and amino acids as well.
Awesome. All right, I think we got through most of the questions that I had taken down. Again, everyone, feel free to put all of your questions in the chat with the final few minutes. I do want to thank you 3 again. I know I learned so much today. You guys are clearly the experts, just judging by how all of you are glowing and how young and supple you all look. So I know that, you know, everything you've given today, I'm going to go and take on my own. Okay, one question did come through for Kendra. How often should I use the wild huckleberry peel?
I formulated this to be used daily because it is so gentle. I love a daily exfoliation. I just like the way that my skin feels. I like the way it looks. You can do it morning or night. When we sleep, we have so much cellular turnover. And I've heard skincare experts say you don't need to wash your face in the morning. And I'm like, do you not need to brush your teeth in the morning? Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's the first thing I do when I wake up. So I made it to use daily, but you will get great results just 2 to 3 times a week. You don't have to do it every day. The most important thing is just to clear that cellular debris, because we buy all these like beautiful products, these expensive serums, these fancy, like amazing ingredient filled lotions. But if they're not able to absorb, it's like a dirty window pane. Like, we've got to clear clear that dirt, that fog, that like buildup off of the window in order to see through. Same thing with our products.
Awesome. All right. Well, I do want to remind everyone again about the amazing GWP offer we have today. Definitely go take advantage of that. We don't typically offer 3 different GWPs for 3 different brands. So again, with any purchase, you'll automatically be qualified. There's no code needed. Just as long as you build your cart, you will be automatically gifted those 3 items. So definitely go take advantage of that. Explore all of the products that was shared today. Thank you guys again. You guys are amazing. I know all of the comments in the chat are just raving about how amazing you all are, and we're so grateful that you joined us today. So thank you, and we hope to have you back soon.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you, ladies.
Yeah, thank you everyone
Thank you
for joining
guys.
today. Hope you have a great weekend.
Thanks,
I
everybody.
learned my lesson with nature. I'm going to be indoors next time. Bye, you guys.
Come join me in the fields.
Yeah,
Have a
I'll
great
be with
weekend.
you. Bye.
I'm already on my way. All right. Bye, girls. It was so nice seeing you guys.
Nice to see
Great
you
to
guys.
see
too.
you.
Bye, everybody. Thank